Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows from shows ranging from the 90s to today.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany,
And I'm Cynthia.
and today we're talking about season 5, episode 13, titled Something Wilder. Air date January 30th, 2002, and the synopsis is
Dawson accepts a job of directing all of his film on his first day of film school. Joey's night takes an unexpected turn when she finds herself kissing Wilder. Meanwhile, Jen's newfound happiness jeopardizes her radio show. So Jen surprises Dawson in the kitchen, and while leading him there, she has her hands over his eyes so he can't see, and she makes him run into the doorway of the kitchen.
yeah. I thought it was funny because every time she does something, you're like, oh, like she's a klutz, and then
Mm-hmm.
here she's making him be a klutz.
Yeah, so I wonder if that was in the script or not.
It's just
But
funny because it's like that's just her character now, and now she's doing it to
mm-hmm.
him.
Yeah.
Well, they say
And
you become one, right? In a
yeah.
relationship, so they're just
Mm-hmm.
the klutz.
Yeah. So it turns out the surprise was school supplies that she got for him, including a dropper keeper of ET on it. I thought that was cute. And then
Yeah, but
she,
not until he gets to class. I mean, it's all
yeah.
funny and cute and then embarrassing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so she tells him to have a good day at school. He's all giggly and saying he's so cute as he leaves.
She's acting like she's his mom.
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
Have a good day at school,
Mm-hmm.
my
Which is
little
fun,
child.
sweetie. Mm-hmm. And then now we are in Joey's dorm with Elliot. They're talking about Wilder's book. They have an assignment on it. Um, and that's when Elliot says that he knows Joey only likes the book because she thinks Wilder is cute. She says it's not true.
I don't see what the girls see in this guy.
Hmm. And that's when Elliot asks Joey to go out for a movie and dinner, and Joey says yes, even though they were just talking about Wilder a second ago. And then Audrey walks in thinking they're having sex and is disappointed when they're not.
Why would she think that? It's Joey.
I know. And in the middle of the day.
But that's Audrey's move. That's not Joey at all.
Hmm. Yeah. So then Audrey comments on Elliot's hair, so that's his cue to leave. And then Audrey teases that Joey has a boyfriend and asks if he actually is or not. And they just both agree that he's a nice guy. And then Jen walks into the frat house, makes like a big, dramatic lawn entrance because she like walks a good minute until she gets to Jack and all the guys are looking at her because not many girls go there apparently. And then it turns out she was only bringing Jack his mail now that he lives at the frat house. Um, and it turns out that
And
she already opened the letter.
and apparently Jack is failing some classes.
Hmm. So he's on academic probation.
But I can see that because he spends all of his time at the frat house.
Hmm.
Like we've never seen him on campus at school.
Right.
So I can see why he would be failing because when does he have time to even attend the classes, let alone study?
Yeah, he never does anything at the house or Graham's. We never see him study.
No,
So,
like all he ever does is want to party with the guys. And it's like, but you need to actually, if you want to pass, you might actually want to start studying and do the homework.
hmm.
Oh, and then did you know that Jen wanted to meet Dawson for lunch?
Yeah, that was in the first scene. I just skipped it. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, now Jen wants to meet him for lunch.
Hmm.
Because last episode it was like, oh, stay 10 feet away from me. Now it's
Yeah.
like, now she did that. Remember, what was it season 2? She was going back and forth with Dawson, and now she's doing it again.
Yep. And then too, Jack doesn't even really care about, his grades. He just tosses a letter to the side and asks Jen if she wants to play pool.
Which, I mean, think about if you were failing, like you wouldn't be able to sleep,
Hmm.
eat, like it would just make you sick to know you're failing. And the fact that
Yeah.
Jack is just blowing it off, like throw the paper, whatever, I don't care.
Hmm.
But also, how is it? I mean, I I feel like he should have already known that he failed.
Right.
Like, it shouldn't come in a letter. Like, shouldn't you have known that you failed? Remember, Joey got her grades a couple episodes ago.
Mm-hmm.
So he should have known a couple episodes ago that he was failing.
Yeah.
And you know when you get your assignment back if it's a failing grade.
Mm-hmm.
So you should know if you're failing. That's why, remember when I said, how did Pacey not know he was failing when you get your tests back, right?
Yeah, they should.
And you add it up. If you haven't
Mm-hmm.
gotten an A, a B, or a C, don't you think that you're failing?
Yeah.
So, I mean, even one F, I mean, we never got Fs in high school, but like even one E or F could
Mm-hmm.
bring your whole grade down.
Yeah.
So I don't get it. And now Jack is playing the stupid game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I didn't know I'm failing. It's like, come on. Yes, you do.
Right. And then I wasn't sure if this was like the library for Dawson at his school or like some kind of campus hangout. I don't know. Either way, Oliver finds him on the second floor from there's an open area, so you can see the whole second floor if you look up. So Oliver calls his name from the second floor and embarrasses him because, everybody's looking at Dawson now. And then Oliver starts to show him around and like introduces him to people, but not like directly. He just like talks about them when they're sitting right there.
Owen talks about how horrible they are. Like,
Yeah.
oh, this person's film. Oh, this person sucks
Mm-hmm.
at this. It's like,
Yeah.
Oliver. And my
Mm-hmm.
thing, you know what I thought when he was going on and on?
Hmm.
I was like, the fact that you like Dawson's film just tells me that the other people are probably good at what they do because you have some bad taste if you like Dawson's film.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's all I was thinking of was because he was just like so into Dawson, and I'm just like, I don't get it because none of Dawson's films have been good, so I just don't get it. And then to talk bad about other people, I'm like, they're probably really good.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
why
then
does he love Dawson so much? Like he follows him around like a little puppy.
I don't know, I guess he just really loved his documentary on Brooks because he knew about him too. So they bonded over that, or at least he bonded to Dawson over that. And then Jenna's giving advice when Audrey calls, but Jenna's distracted by her gifts from Dawson. That was funny because she gets like a all lovey-dovey with her voice, and Jen tells Audrey that she has a negative energy, she's lost the love, and she should have tea with the guy and really get to know him. And Audrey doesn't like this advice, and Jen takes the next call without even really finishing her advice of what at least what Audrey wanted to hear.
Well, and like, let's be honest, if somebody's that happy, you're like, go away.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, come on, now your life can't be that perfect.
Yeah.
So go away.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just what I think. Like, when somebody's that happy, it's like, but what, like, deep down, what's the dark secret? Because it's like, no one can be that happy.
No, they can be, even if it's for the honeymoon phase of it all.
Well, she's really in the honeymoon phase because it's really annoying.
Mm-hmm. And then Jack is confronted by Blossom now this time of his grades because Jack wants to play catch with the football, but Blossom's like maybe you should study instead of playing football because
Did you notice that he called Jen the walking buzzkill?
no, I missed that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they said something about how Jen came and he goes, the walking buzzkill.
Mm,
And then
okay,
that's
yeah.
when they find out that or Blossom finds out that he is failing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not too happy that Jack is failing.
Yeah, because Blossom says if he doesn't fix it, the dean will be down his neck for it.
Now,
'Cause,
did you think that they cared? Because none of them are studying.
yeah,
It's
and no
just
one
all party, party, party.
mm-hmm. Yeah, no one volunteered to help Jack or anything.
Nope. All they said was, don't you think that you should be studying? And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
what?
Yeah, because like Blossom was like, because basically he's like, if Jack fails, and we all fail. So, but again, gives him no help.
Nope.
And then Elliot finds Joey and asks about how she feels about Italian, not Italian, Indian food. And then that's when Wilder finds them because he always seems to butt
Pop up.
in. Yeah.
I feel so bad for Elliot.
hmm
I like Elliot.
Yeah, because Wilder keeps like scaring him off, basically.
He put them he wanted her to go talk to Elliot, and now that Elliot likes her,
hmm
now he's got to step in.
Right.
I can't stand him. Like I want Joey with someone her age, normal. Like
hmm
why is it gotta be Wilder?
Yeah.
But then
So,
he of now, do you think that he like overheard Elliot and her? So then he was like, "Oh, I know exactly what day to say let's have dinner."
I don't know. Maybe. It's hard
Because
to
it's just
say.
weird how it's like the same day.
hmm Yeah.
And of course, it's after she told Elliot yes.
hmm Yeah, because apparently they're done with their group project that we haven't been seeing them do for a while anyhow. But
That's what the show does. But then and it was weird too, because at first he was kind of acting like, oh, I'm just taking you out. But then he brought up the whole class, and I'm like,
hmm
I don't know, like I still felt weird because it was like, is this like just a you and Joey date?
he probably wants it to be.
Yeah, like just how he was talking, I was like, oh, not so sure about you.
hmm And then at Graham's Gen X, if Dawson is going to direct Oliver's movie,
And he
Dawson
said
wants,
no.
yeah, Dawson wants to do his own stuff instead. And that's
But
when
like
Jack,
what? He hasn't
not
done
Jackson.
anything.
Yeah, yeah. So when Jen asks him if he has any material of his own to do, he says no, but it's just he's not ready to commit. And then Jen mentions a twinkle in his eye that he gets when he's excited about a script, which never was mentioned before. So I don't think he even had a twinkle to begin with. And then yeah, so Dawson says, "Oh, just think about it." And then Pacey is in Audrey and Joey's room dorm, while Audrey is meditating, I believe. And then Audrey brings up Joey's problem of having 2 dates for Friday, and Joey gives her that look like you're not supposed to say that in front of him. Like, I want him to know or know my business.
Okay.
And
Hmm.
yeah,
This is just so awkward. And
why?
it's awkward to watch.
Why?
Because these two are supposed to be together.
Oh,
And given the fact that they had the epic romance,
mm-hmm.
you don't go from that and then you're just friends where you can listen to that person talk about their love life.
Well, I guess it's been long enough.
No, it hasn't. They didn't even break up a year ago.
I know, but some people can move on by then.
Pacey acted like he was gonna be in love with her forever.
I know, but now he doesn't. He's like encouraging her seeing Wilder because he's, he,
Yeah, because he did it.
mm-hmm.
I was thinking like, remember back when Andy found out that he slept with
Miss
teacher.
Jacobs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when I was like, oh, think about his kids, like, oh, daddy slept with
Mm-hmm.
his teacher. Think about it
Yeah.
though. If
Mm-hmm.
they ever had kids, Joey and Pacey, daddy slept with the teacher and mommy slept with the professor.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least she wanted to. It's like, you know how scarred those kids would be?
Yeah.
I'm just throwing that out there. I mean, and he was going along. He's like, I've done it. It's like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, don't take me back there.
Yeah. And
I
Pacey says,
hated that.
yeah. Pacey says, Joey overbooking her night is very Marsha Brady of her. That's one reference in this show I've gotten, at least in this season so far, I think. And then, yeah, so,
But then when Audrey's talking about Elliot being a good boyfriend and stuff, Pacey starts to walk away.
hmm yeah, well, he starts to walk away when Audrey says that maybe Joey's not ready for a boyfriend.
Yeah, because she's her old boyfriend that was just her last boyfriend is standing right in the room. Like, you know how awkward that is? And then he's the one that broke up with her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hello, she wouldn't have to deal with um professors or Elliot if Pacey just didn't break up with her.
Right.
You know what I mean? She wouldn't have to go through
Mm-hmm.
all this.
Yeah. But anyhow, she does say that she is ready for the commitment. So she's, I guess, going out with Elliot. And then Jack gets back to the frat house and Blossom asks how he done his test or quiz, and Jack shows him the A that he got. I thought that was a real big turnaround, like really quick. So I don't know if that just proves he really wasn't trying at all, or he was. I thought maybe he might even be cheating or something, because like I said, that was a really quick turnaround in like less than a day. So,
Yeah, because wouldn't you probably get like a C your first time trying?
hmm yeah. So Blossom apologizes for being hard on him earlier. He was just looking out for him, and Jack says it didn't feel like that, and Blossom says that they should celebrate tonight, and Jack agrees. So I guess things are fixed for now, but we'll see. And then Dawson is in his class when the students next to him keep looking at his Trapper Keeper of ET. He tells him it was a
Yeah.
gift.
That one lady was funny. She just kept like looking over at
Mm-hmm.
him and he's like, it was a gift.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. But seriously, like, how embarrassing.
Yeah. And then after
Like,
class,
what Jen was acting like he's in elementary.
yeah,
Because when you get to be an adult, you don't want like an ET binder.
yeah. It
You
really
just want like a
depends.
regular color binder.
Mm-hmm.
Even in high school, it's like, no, I want like a plain binder.
Oh, yeah.
I know
Not really for me.
you probably would pick Hannah Montana. I know.
I did have them. I just never really used them because I had, we had the certain colors for different subjects anyhow. So I don't want to get confused. And they were really nice folders. I don't want them to get messed up either.
What, your
I
Hannah
still have
Montana
them
ones?
somewhere. Yeah, I still have them somewhere. And then yeah, so after class, Oliver asked Dawson, did he read his script? And he said, yeah. And so right away he gives him a whole filming schedule he planned out about it. Dawson says he can't do it. It's not the right time, but Oliver says that Dawson's the only one who can direct it. And Dawson mentioned something from the script, so Dawson gives him a note. And Oliver's is shocked by this, but takes it well and says that they can talk it over lunch. So Dawson still wrapped into it without meaning to. But he was supposed to have lunch with Jen, but you know, Oliver just completely dismisses that fact and just keeps talking.
Did you know what I liked?
Hmm.
I was happy to see Jen visiting Pacey at work.
Oh yeah.
Like I miss their scenes together.
Mm-hmm.
And so like it takes you back and I was happy to see that and but then she brings up Dawson and it's like hmm.
Yeah.
Like
Because
come on
apparently,
now.
yeah, because apparently the producers at the radio station told her that she's lost her edge and that her show might be canceled because of it.
Yeah, she's too happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Pacey let her know that. And then in the
Yeah,
middle
because
of this,
she was like, well, wouldn't you rather get advice from somebody that's like happy and like in a happy relationship? And he's like, no. He was
mm-hmm.
like, I want somebody that's doing like worse than me.
Yeah, to feel better about his life.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you can go, well, at least I'm not that person.
Yeah. And Jen says that she needs something to take her back to being nasty and sarcastic. And that's when um Dawson, no, actually before that, she tells Pacey to tell her something, mean. That's when he said, do you want something sexist or disgusting?
Oh,
Oh no,
but
vulgar, sorry. Yeah.
it was funny because when she's sitting there and she answers the phone and she's getting all
Mm-hmm.
cute and happy because Dawson's on the phone and Pacey says, "Oh, you are so fired."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's funny.
And then,
Um,
yeah,
go ahead.
I was just say that Joey was about to call Elliot when he shows up at her door.
Yeah, and then I'm sick. Bull crap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even he knows it, but he's still like, being nice and telling her to rest and everything.
Well, because she was
I mean,
like,
I think he did.
I don't want to get you sick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
I
God.
mean, didn't it seem like he was kind of understanding what she was doing?
No, he looked like a sad puppy.
Oh, I thought he was like catching on after a minute.
Yeah, that she's faking it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he says maybe they can do something else sometime, and she says absolutely. But more like absolutely not.
No, she's too into Wilder,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so annoying and gross.
Yeah. And then in the attic at Graham's, Jen is trying to find material for her show from apparently porn magazines. I don't know how that's gonna work, but
Um, what was up with that scene?
with the magazines.
No, Dawson walks in and then he talks about Doofus, Oliver, and then all of a sudden Oliver walks up there.
Oh yeah, that was
I
funny.
I was like, that's like their bedroom or whatever, and you're
Mm-hmm.
just walking in and like Jen, she met him that one time at the festival, but I'm just like, ew, like what if she was changing or something? Like, ew. And then he just like walks in.
Mm-hmm.
And but I was like, I literally was like, what is he doing there? Like he literally just keeps following Dawson around.
Yeah. Because they're talking about him joining them for dinner, and Jen's like, okay, yeah, he can come, and that's when he does. He like, I knew she'd be okay with it,
Yeah,
but
and then
Dawson did
Dawson,
tell him to wait downstairs. Yeah.
yeah, Dawson's like, I told him to wait downstairs. Well, he don't listen, you know that.
Mm-hmm. And now this is when it gets intense because Jack's at the bar, and the waitress mentions, "Isn't it a little too early to start drinking?" And that's when Eric walks over and tells the waitress to give him a break. He's had a rough week. And then that's when Eric talks about how Blossom gave Jack a hard time and how everyone's talking about it. And Jack points out it's only hard for them not to talk about, trash talking their friends. Eric says that they need to know where he stands if it's okay to take him out or not. So right away that showed Jack that like he said, like it's only a conditional brotherhood. So like, you know, Jack isn't really it's like it's not like they can't be so forgiving and open minded like he thought they would be and understanding. And then they get into it, and Eric says,
Well, this is later.
yes, no. It was just they're arguing. I wrote down, Eric says, yes, it is conditional, but they still like him, even if he's a little stupid, and they'll use fewer syllables around him. And Eric laughs and joins other guys at the table. And then that's when Jack watches and gets another beer.
I think Jack needs to stop drinking.
Yeah. And then Joey's group dinner ends. Everyone takes off when Wilder asks where Joey's going for tonight,
Oh,
you
did
know?
you see how fast Wilder was? So like he was like, "Oh yeah, you guys have somewhere to go. Bye." And it's like, and then he
Mm-hmm.
goes, oh, Joey, what are you doing?" And it's like, "Oh my God, you couldn't wait for them all to leave just so you can have Joey to yourself." Like so creepy.
Mm-hmm. And even when Joey says that she's going to the dorm, that's when he says that he's going that way too and gives
Ugh,
her his arm.
yeah. Ew. Like who does that?
You know?
Like you're still her teacher. Gross.
Mm-hmm. And then Dawson and Oliver are arguing about a script over dinner at the public diner. And Jen's just sitting there and just wants to chill and eat a sundae, but they're not listening to her. And then Joey and Wilder keep talking about how
Um, did you did you know that Wilder didn't have a wife and kid?
no, yeah,
But
that
okay, do you think he does and he's just lying just to get Joey or what?
I don't know. Because he only used it before to get out of that long line of girls talking to him. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, and the fact that he just like lied, it's like, why would you want to be with him?
Mm-hmm.
Like he didn't tell you the truth then. So it's like, how can you trust him moving forward?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if he really does have a wife and kid?
Right.
Then you're the other woman. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's just messy. That's why it's like, Joey, you're smarter than that. Stay away from him.
Mm-hmm. And they have a moment when they're talking about one of his past relationships, like what does he want in a relationship now? So he asks her out for coffee and they do. And
Well,
then,
and then he talks up well, and then they end up talking about um her writing, and remember she was writing about that boy.
hmm
And he said, "Oh, what happened to him?" And she said, "He re-met someone else." It's
right.
just this is just so weird.
hmm But before that, Dawson and Oliver are still arguing about the script. So Oliver gets fed up and tells Dawson he's fired. And Dawson says he can't be fired because he never even agreed to do it in the first place. And Jenna's just stunned at what happened. And this is when I noticed that at the end of the table, it's a mirror. I thought it was like another aisle of tables next to them, but it was just a reflection the whole time.
I
I
didn't
just didn't really
notice.
notice it. Yeah, I just didn't really notice it in the first time of this. Yeah, so Wilder and Joey and let's see. Yeah, so they're talking about dating and Joey was saying how hard it is. So what's the point? Not Oliver. Wilder jokes she should just quit now and join a convent. And Joey says that
Well,
the good yeah.
yeah, they talk about butterflies and how like the good
hmm
guys don't give you butterflies. And then he's like, "Oh, so who does?" And she goes, "Someone that isn't supposed to," or
hmm
and then she leans in to kiss him. Ugh.
Yeah. And
And
then
then I did think it was funny when they stopped kissing and he was like, "I'm gonna go to prison, aren't I?"
yeah.
I would have said, "Yep."
I said maybe not, but you should be fired, at least. But Joey says that he's not just because she might be an accomplice. And then Joey decides she should leave first, and Wilder, you can see he's all nervous because he's stumbling over his words and, knowing he shouldn't have done that. But Joey calls him professor when she says goodnight. And it does look like he felt bad about it, but
He's just, I don't like him.
yeah. So when she called him professor, I was hoping that meant that she was going to let it go, so he would let it go. But
Yeah, but how
obviously
do
that,
you go back to class the next day?
yeah, I know.
So awkward.
Yeah, only Pacey would know how that feels when he saw Mrs. Jacob for the
Yeah,
first time.
but Pacey didn't listen to anything in class.
hmm And then back to the bar or restaurant. It looked like a bar, but it was the restaurant. Blossom says that having a balance between partying and studying is the way to go. And Jack knows he doesn't really care about his grades. Blossom is annoyed by this and asks what's wrong now. Jack
Yeah,
says,
he said it's like talking to a chick.
yeah,
Come on. And then he said, "You were supposed to help us clean up our image."
yeah, which made me wonder, like, what was their image beforehand. But they don't go
Well,
further into that.
no. It's the early 2000s.
hmm
But it's like you know what the image was.
hmm
They were happy to have Jack in there because he's gay.
hmm
And that's it. They don't really like him.
Yeah. So the guys laugh, and Eric tells Jack Blossom is only messing with him, and Eric also was the only one that wasn't laughing at that. And then Jack pulls something out of Blossom's hands. Was that like a stool table and not table chair that he was like
I don't
leaning
know.
on? Because he just like grabbed it really quick. And then this is when Pacey comes in to ask Jack if he wants coffee. Like I said, I thought it was a bar, so I figured it was a restaurant after Pacey came in and stepped in, but it really looked like a bar before. And then yeah, so it wasn't even worth bringing him into the house. Blossom says so. Jack punches Blossom in the face, and then Pacey tries stopping it, but the other guy punches Jack back, and then um the other guys. I was trying to see how many. I think maybe three other guys from the frat house punched Jack. It happened really quickly. I couldn't even tell who was who. But
Yeah,
Pacey
all I
was
saw was a bunch of commotion. I was like,
yeah. Yeah, so Pacey grabs Jack as he breaks the glasses on the table. It looked like he did that by accident. Like it didn't look like he like did it on purpose, like he was angry, so he just like knocked down the glasses. It just looked like he lost his balance and stumbled and then kind of hit the glasses
well,
to
he's
break.
drunk.
Yeah. But everybody's reaction seemed like that he did that on purpose. Like he was gonna hurt
Well,
somebody
that's
with it.
because he made the first punch.
Yeah. But it was still Jack against how many other guys were in the bar with them.
By the way, I'm not gonna lie, I was happy to see some action on this show.
Mm-hmm.
Think about this show doesn't really have fighting,
Right.
especially fist fighting like that. So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, man, this is getting good. And then they broke it up. Come on now.
Yeah, I think the last time was when Pacey beat that, I forgot his name now, the guy that messed up Joey's mural. And that
I
was the
know it's
last
good.
time. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like, they don't really do fighting on this show, but when they do it, it is good.
Mm-hmm.
The 1%.
Yeah.
That's why I need more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so after these punches, that's when Jack's bleeding. And he was bleeding quite a
Oh,
bit too.
remember when you guys were like giving me such a hard time when I didn't agree with Dawson punching Jack in season 2? And I was like, I feel like it was like, I feel like Jack wanted to get punched on purpose. Like, that's
Mm.
why he let Dawson do it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he would have fought back. And you guys were like, oh, like Jack's like kind of weak and stuff. Like, because I said Dawson can't punch like that.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the truth. Jack just was in a fight.
Yeah, I think
And
this
he's
too.
no, but he's drunk and he's still standing. Like that
Mm-hmm.
just proved to me that when Dawson punched him, I was right.
Yeah, well, I think too maybe it's just because Jack's more confident in who he is now before he was kind of like still denying his feelings of being gay and everything.
No, but I think he wanted Dawson to punch him
Yeah, I
because
can see that.
he knew that he was in the wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was like, man, Jack really can fight back.
Mm-hmm.
Because
And then
Pacey was struggling to stop Jack. It was actually funny.
mm-hmm. And I was just surprised he was the only one that was trying to break up the fight too. There's no other workers around, it seemed like, except for Audrey.
Heck no, they're
But
probably all in the back watching.
yeah, because Audrey had that big reaction to the glasses breaking, like as if someone hit Jack with a glass or something.
Well, then she had that reaction because I think she saw his hand bloody or something, and it
Oh,
was like ugh,
yeah.
that's what she was getting grossed out about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so then
Because Pacey said like, "Oh, keep pressure on it," and she was like, "Ugh."
hmm yeah, and he kind of like hands Jack off to her, so she's holding him.
Yeah, and she's like, That's when she gets grossed out.
hmm And I think Pacey went to get a first aid kit, I'm guessing, to help Jack because
Yeah,
they never yeah.
because I think he's the one that wrapped up his hand.
Yeah, because they never called the cops or anything, so it's not like he went to go make a phone call. And then really quick, Joey gets back to her dorm to find Elliot, that he had left her a get well card
Oh,
at her door, which was
see,
really sweet.
Elliot is so sweet.
Yeah, because it was handmade, it
Come,
wasn't bought, so
yeah, come
wasn't
on
it? Yeah,
now.
yeah, it was handmade.
Why you want to be with the professor? You got Elliot.
Yeah.
Like Elliot is boyfriend material. Guess who's not?
hmm
Wilder.
Yeah. And then Dawson finds Jen in her room. He says he knows he should have handled things better earlier with Elliot. I mean, not Elliot, Oliver. There are too many
I
names.
thought it was funny because she said, "You invite Dennis the Menace,"
hmm
and then like she didn't. And remember, she was like, "You don't even know that I'm mad at you."
Right. I think it took
I'm
him that
like,
long to realize.
but it's like one thing about Dawson that I think she's forgotten is Dawson is always about himself.
hmm
He doesn't know when somebody's upset.
hmm
That's just who Dawson is. It's Dawson's bubble. It's all about him. So for the fact that she's like, you didn't, it's like, no, Jen, he didn't know because you're not in his bubble.
hmm
It's only Dawson.
Yeah. So Dawson tells Jen how Oliver kind of reminds him of him when he was really into filmmaking when he was in high
1 minute.
school. Okay, so in Jen and Dawson are still talking about Oliver's script and how she's mad at him about how he's been joining their lunches and dinner dates.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't like it either.
Yeah. And yeah, and then when she tried to give her input about the script herself, they weren't listening to her. And then because it's apparently there's a scene that Jen doesn't like that's unnecessary. And she just tells Dawson just to give him money for a lap dance if he's so desperate for that scene. And that's when she realizes her mojo is back and let's get to the station now.
Yeah, and she runs off. It was funny because he's
Yeah.
like, "What? What's going on?"
hmm And then Audrey's we go back to the dorm room. Audrey is standing on her head with I'm guessing yoga or something. And that's when Joey walks in and tells her that she kissed Wilder and dumped Elliot, making Audrey fall down.
Yeah, and of course, all Audrey wants to talk about is the kiss.
hmm Yeah, so Joey gives her the details that she pulled away when other girls would usually have slept with him, and Audrey asks if she wanted to sleep with him, and Joey says
She
no,
doesn't
but
know.
she says no, but doesn't, but she didn't want to keep kissing him, at least. And
But
Joey
then
goes about,
eventually does, though she says she doesn't know
okay.
if she would have.
And then Joey says that she came to the school to change her life, but her own life has followed her here or there. So she's trapped. She can't pretend to be somebody else to start over. Audrey says she doesn't need to do that because they wouldn't be friends if she would, if she was a different person. And then Audrey just encourages her and tells her to seize the opportunity because she doesn't know when they'll come her way again. So this is not the good direction Joey should be pushed into, Audrey
No,
thinks.
she should have pushed her more towards Elliot.
hmm Yeah, and they go on about how Wilder is a good kisser and Joey gives him a 20 out of 10.
Ugh.
And yeah, how she shouldn't have stopped. And then next, Jen is on the phone with a girl whose boyfriend will break up with her if she doesn't wear thongs. So Jen goes off on that. And, she says how guys should start wearing thongs before asking their girlfriends to and see how they like it. And that was funny. And then,
Yeah, the old Jen is back.
yeah. And then Jack gives Pacey money for the damages he caused in the bar fight.
And then Pacey was like, you could have got me fired.
Yeah, because they're
And
friends.
Jack doesn't care.
hmm Yeah.
And then Pacey tells him that he knows what it's like to fail the classes and try to, make it all up and everything. And yeah,
mhm.
Jack doesn't care.
Yeah, Pacey tries to straighten him out, and mentions his drinking too. How he's always, you know, like why would he still want to be part of the group of the guys that, gained up on him and beat him and all
Yeah,
that.
because he was like, it was 10-1. And Jack
hmm
doesn't care. And it's kind of irritating, but okay.
Yeah, so Pacey asks him if it was really worth it. So Jack just doesn't answer and just leaves.
Yeah, he
Says he has to
leaves
go.
mad.
hmm And then last scene, Dawson talks to Oliver and says that he's sorry for going overboard. He just wanted to get back into filming slowly. And then Oliver gave him his script and he says he liked it and he tried not liking it, but Oliver gets the I don't know, I think I made a typo here. Um that once he gets finished that he gets how the crash feels when he finishes a project and he doesn't want to feel even more down than he's already been. And Oliver knows that Dawson doesn't want to have that guilt feeling from working on something and then when he's actually supposed
Oh,
to be working on his dad's death, like his grief over his dad.
if Dawson thinks that Oliver reminds him of himself, then the script can't be that good.
Hmm.
Because Dawson's scripts are not good. So the fact that Oliver is like the new Dawson, no, then it's a
hmm
bad film to begin with. And the fact that Dawson likes it, come on now.
Yeah.
Um, but so Dawson, agrees to do the film, and then Dawson runs after Oliver, and because Dawson asked him, "Why aren't you directing? Like this is
hmm
your film," and he was like, "Oh, because I want to play so and so."
hmm
And then Dawson runs after Oliver. I think Dawson found his passion again.
Yeah.
It was like, here it is.
hmm
Because Dawson's been, I mean, I know he's always boring, but he's really been annoying and boring because, you know, what has he really done in the past like 10 episodes? Not much.
hmm
So
Yeah.
it's nice to finally see him do something else.
hmm Yeah, and I think that working with Oliver will be good for him because they kind of, I guess, have similar experience with filmmaking and kind of the talent too. And Oliver is willing to listen to Dawson now after so much arguing, but Dawson and Elliot can bond on the feeling of knowing what it's like to work on a project like that and how much joy it gives them. Just feels, feels their energy, their heart, their serotonin, like everything. And because like before Dawson wasn't really getting anywhere in California because he was, I think he went too fast, too quickly. Getting on a set already. I think he needed to just kind of step back and work on smaller projects his own that he had, a say in and more control of instead of, having no say, no control when he was on that one set with that one director.
Well, yeah, I think he wanted to go to California and become all of a sudden overnight
Hmm.
this big director, and that just,
Yeah, like
I
Spielberg.
mean, what's the odds that that actually happens?
Hmm.
And so the fact that, he just wanted to skip everything else, the training and everything to get there.
Hmm.
He just wanted to go above, just ignore it all and just move right there. And it's like, no, you need to get your foot comfortable on any set before you can go to the big movies.
Hmm. Yeah, so that was it. Highs
Yep.
and lows.
Um, um, the high was finally seeing Dawson back to his old self, to
Hmm.
see that he wants to film or he wants to direct this film at the end. And then the low, um, everything else.
Hmm.
I really didn't like this episode. What about you?
Yeah, my high was Dawson finding his passion again for filming, and then the low would be everything still going on with Jack and the frat house and the bar fight and everything. And then rating,
I'd rate this a 5.
yeah, me too.
That was
And
boring.
then yeah, and then best and worst characters.
All right. So, my best, I picked Pacey.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, he could have, like everyone else, he could have just let the fight go on,
Mm-hmm.
but he stopped it. Um, and plus, I mean, he was there to listen for when Jen was going on and on about Dawson,
Mm-hmm.
which can be easy because, everyone still's picking Dawson, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I just felt like everyone was just kind of annoying, but Pacey stood out.
Mm-hmm.
And the worst, Wilder. I can't
Yeah.
stand him. Like, he was already annoying because he was getting too close at dinner, and then he just took the extra step, and he should have just backed away, but he didn't. So he was really annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean, he should definitely be fired. So yeah, that's why he's the worst for me. I don't like the guy. He needs to go away.
Mm-hmm.
Joey needs to, you know, kind of get a brain all of a sudden, like she's lost her brain or something, because like the old Joey would never have done this.
Right, right.
And so she needs to go back to that Joey
Mm-hmm.
where she actually thought of things.
Yeah.
And I don't think Audrey's helping any
No, no, not at all.
because now she's pushing her towards him instead of away from him.
Yeah, she's been doing that since the very beginning too,
Hmm.
since Joey started that class.
Yep. So that's why that one's the best and that one's the worst. What about you?
I put down the best as Oliver just because he was helping Dawson get back into the game of filmmaking and
Oliver, he was so annoying.
yeah, he was at first, but toward the end he really could relate to Dawson and knows how he feels. And Dawson hasn't really had anybody like this to talk to filming since at least his age, since Nikki. That was the last time he knew someone his age that liked filmmaking, could relate to him on that level. And then I put the worst as Blossom because he just doesn't really care about Jack and showed his true colors and really, try to hurt Jack. Well, I mean, they did hurt Jack, but he just he really messed him up, and it could have gone worse if Pacey probably wasn't there to break it up because Jack's hand was pretty messed up already. He could have easily got punched in the face. He could have got damaged from being kicked if they, had enough time.
Well, it could have been worse. Like Pacey said, he could have been
Yeah.
fired.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. So I don't like Blossom because he's just always trying to, you know, he was already pushing Jack at the beginning to join the frat house. And, after all this time, he thought that they were brothers and everything. So Jack trusted him. And now he finally learns that it was only under certain conditions. So,
Yeah.
and then the next episode, episode 14, is titled Guerrilla Filmmaking. So it's
I'm
type of
sorry.
filmmaking.
Such a weird title.
Yeah. I'm not sure where that term comes from, but yeah, means independent filmmaking.
Yeah, I don't know why they just didn't say that.
They just try to be more creative with their titles. So
Yeah.
obviously this is going to be about Oliver's movie.
More creative with their titles. They're certainly not creative with the show.
Yeah. Yep. And now we're moving to January of 2002. This is the show ended in
This was January.
2003. I'm talking about the next one.
Well, this one was January 30th. What was?
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the next episode's February now.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you
'Cause,
said I thought you said we were moving into January. I was like, we're already in
no,
January.
February. Yeah. And then this show ended in 2003, right? So we still got another year.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Just
But
2002 seems to be going slow already.
I feel like season 6 is better than season 5. Like I feel like
Okay.
anything at this point could be better than season 5.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like season 6 is definitely a little bit better. I'm not
Okay.
going with all the way, but I'm going with a little bit,
Right, yeah.
which is good because season 5 is just dragging. It's so bad.
Mm-hmm.
But have you noticed a lot of the seasons are like that?
Yeah, yeah, on the show.
And then you get like one good episode and you're like, yay, it's going somewhere. And then it goes right back down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening.
Yep, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us at Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would really appreciate it.